Hi, I am Stanley Brennan, and I am playing Kathleen McKenna, who was secretary to Arthur Griffiths during the treaty negotiations.
I'm Simon O'Gorman. I'm playing Thomas Jones, who was a civil servant in Downing Street. He was kind of Lloyd George's Sir Humphrey, his right-hand man. In terms of the challenge of playing a historical character, I don't know how Kate feels, but I didn't feel the pressure of being that man because he's not well known. So people won't be looking at it going, oh, Jones wasn't like that, he was different. Whereas for characters like Collins and Griffith and Winston Churchill, like people, you know, there's a different challenge for the actors playing those roles, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd never heard of Kathleen McKenna when I got offered the role.
Thomas Jones is a very dyed-in-the-wool civil servant. Now he's Welsh, he's not conservative as such, with a big C, but think Westminster, he's one of those, kind of, he's Bernard or Sir Humphrey, like he's of the civil service. And I think Kathleen McKenna's more of a free spirit, is that fair?
Yeah, she turned up on the steps of Sinn Féin's headquarters when she was a young woman and wanted to fight for the Irish struggle and work in whatever way she could. And so she worked for the Irish Bulletin, which was an underground propaganda publication. And then she became secretary for Arthur Griffiths during the treaty negotiations. I mean, in our play, I suppose we don't have a relationship necessarily in real life, but in the play we have a relationship as narrators. So we kind of bounce off each other.
Well, we're kind of like yin and yang, aren't we? We're reflections of the same role on different sides of the treaty. Yeah, it's an interesting bounce between them, which is very, I like it. It's fun. It's fun to play.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, I think Colin's written a brilliant script. I think he's written it that you really see both sides, you know, of the argument. And even on the Irish side, you see the internal argument. You really kind of see both sides.
It's one of Colin's great skills. Because he did a similar, he wrote The Bailout as well, which was on TV a few years ago. And similarly, you feel the struggle of the characters. Even if you're not of their point of view, you do see their point of view, you understand it. And that's one of the great achievements of this, or at least we hope anyway, isn't it? It's like the clarity of the storytelling, that it's such a complicated story. And the more you go into it, the more complicated it becomes.
And I mean, you're used to kind of seeing stories from Irish history where they fight the impossible fight, the Irish, but with guns or swords, whereas this, it's kind of similar in that they're sent over with this impossible task, but they have to fight it with words this time instead of weapons. So that's really interesting. Yeah, I have worked with Fishamble several times in the past, and it's an absolute joy every time, but it feels very special this time to be back in a room with a cast of 12, which is huge by today's standards, and everyone in the cast are just these absolute heavyweights of theatre, so I feel blessed to be back in a room with them, and yeah, it's a momentous occasion.
It is brilliant. It's so kind of enlivening just to be back in a room with people, and good people as well, and doing a great script. It's brilliant to be back.